You know, my daughter who I love dearly, but she is one lazy, sorry, using person.
What is
you
she
know
doing?
So I let her move into my house 3 years ago, and she got 2 twin boys. She does nothing to support. Our agreement was that she would pay $400.
We never had no agreement. We ain't never had no agreement.
$400 on rent.
Hold on 1 second, Miss Faye Foster. Excuse me. We will not have any outbursts like that.
We just gonna sit here and let her say whatever she wants to say?
I'm just going to sit here and let her say what she wants to while I'm speaking to her. And when it's your turn, I will allow you the opportunity to do the same thing. Okay. There will be no more outbursts.
Yes,
we're clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we agreed that she would pay $400 a month, plus she would pay $275 a month, so I'll put her kids
Here's the text with the violent and harsh language removed. You know my daughter who I truly love dearly, but she is very lazy. What is she doing saying so? She has to. I let her move into my house 3 years ago, and she got 2 twin boys. She does nothing to support. Our agreement was that she would pay $400, but we never had an agreement. We ain't never had anything. 1 second, Miss FTH, excuse me. We will not have any outbursts like that. We are just going to sit here and let her say whatever she wants to say. I'm just going to sit here and let her say what she wants to while I'm speaking to her. And when it's your turn, I will allow you the opportunity to do the same thing. There will be no more outbursts. We're clear? Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Okay, so we agreed that she would pay $400 a month, plus she would pay $275 a month. So I put her kids in insurance. Wait a minute. Her mom is also paying for the insurance for her kids. This situation just keeps getting worse. How can she let her mom cover $275 every month while she makes excuses? She agreed to pay her back, but surprise, she hasn't. If she's earning money from braiding hair and working, she should be able to handle basic expenses for her own children. It's unfair for her mom to shoulder all the bills while she keeps her entire income for herself. Since she's been there, she may have given me a total in 3 months of $200. It's always some excuse why she couldn't pay. I said, and I told her, I'm on a fixed income, you know, and I'm doing all this for you and the kids. I'm buying the food, paying the electricity. I'm the one getting up and taking them to school in the morning while she sleeps, and she has a job. Plus, she does braiding people's hair on weekends. What does she work? She works at a telecommunication company. Okay, and I think she said she's a customer service something, but she braids hair on the side. Ma'am, you say she braids hair on the side? Yes, she does, in my back room. All right, and her clients come in. She gives her clients snacks and stuff that I bought for the kids, and just like she don't buy something. So I told her, you're going to have to start doing better. All right, and she told me, why? Miss F. Foster, let me stop you really quickly. You said she braids hair in the home. Do you know how much money she makes roughly on average a month? Well, I know she charges about $300 to $400, depending on the length of your hair, and she normally on the weekend does at least 3 to 4 heads. Okay, so I would say on average, if we just do the lower end of it, she probably works about $1,200 on a Saturday, and sometimes she does it on Sunday, but most of the time it's on Saturday, all day Saturday. So, about $1,200 every week, right? Uh-huh. Okay, keep going. Continue. Yes, ma'am, continue. Okay, so I told her, I said, you can give me some of that, you know, to help out. And you're living here and I'm taking care of the kids and I'm using the gas to go take them to their soccer practice and their football practice. And she tells me, you're their grandmother. You're supposed to do that. She actually told her mom, you're supposed to do that when asked about taking care of the kids. That's one of the rudest, most entitled things I'd ever heard. Her mom already raised her. Now she's expected to raise her grandkids too. Grandparents aren't free babysitters or second parents. Her mom is covering rent, food, insurance, and everything else while her daughter just sits back and acts like it's some kind of obligation. That's not just shameful, it's downright disrespectful. And I told her I ain't supposed to do a thing. I ain't had no twins, okay? But I love my grandkids, so I hate for them to be without just because their mama isn't stepping up. Okay, all right, so we're going to not name call either. Okay, I understand your emotions. It's not a problem. I understand. I understand exactly how you feel. I know what you're saying. It's plenty of grandmothers coming in this court feeling exactly the same way you do. I just ask that you just be respectful to one another. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that. That's okay. Now, how old are the twins? The twins are 10. All right, and you said they're boys? They're boys, 2 boys. All right. Are they involved in any kind of extracurricular activities? Yes. They play football, and they play soccer and basketball. All right, and does mom help out with any of that? No, she always says, well, go ahead and pay their fees and I'll give it back to you, but I never get it back. She lives in the home. Does she actually live there, or does she just sleep there and live somewhere else? No, she lives there and she sleeps somewhere else every night. But that's why she was supposed to be paying me $400 for them to live there. Okay, because she got put out of her last place. So I said, okay, you can come home, but I'm on a fixed income. So if you give me $400 a month. And then she said, okay, and I think she may have paid $200 one time, and that's it. All right. Are the children on health insurance or anything? The children, I put them in insurance because I asked her, do you have insurance on these kids? And she said, I can't afford it. So I said, well, they need insurance. They're playing sports and stuff, and they get sick, and we don't have that. So I got insurance, and she agreed that she would pay me back each month what I had to pay for insurance. How much do you pay for the children? Only the children? Yes, $275. $275. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her? I just need her to do the right thing. I just need her to do the right thing. And I hope you can make her do the right thing. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can make her. I can only do what the law allows. Right, ma'am? Well, let me ask you a question about the living arrangements. Yes. You said this was supposed to be temporary. It was supposed to be temporary until she found a place to stay that they can afford. But it's been 3 years, and I don't think she's looking for any place. 3 years in her mom's house, and she still hasn't found a permanent place to live? That's not temporary. That's permanent freeloading. Her mom gave her a chance to get back on her feet. But instead, she's making excuses about deposits and rent. Meanwhile, she's earning money from a job and a side hustle. So why hasn't she saved anything? If she had set aside even a fraction of what her mom spends on her and her kids, she could have moved out by now. It's ridiculous how comfortable she seems with making no effort. Where's the honor in that? I don't think she has looked at all, and she keeps saying, well, I don't have the money to get a place that's nice enough for me and the boys, and that I can afford. And then people want a high deposit and all this kind of stuff. So, I'm like, okay, but I need you to help out. Okay, you can't live nowhere else for $400. Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her? Yes, Your Honor, she's always gone. Not only does she dump all the responsibilities on her mom, but she's also never around for her own kids. This is just heartbreaking. While her mom is at home taking care of the children, she's out with her friends or spending time with the man who's really raising these kids. Someone could be this careless. Her mom didn't ask for this life, yet she's stuck playing both the parent and the provider, while her daughter lives like she doesn't have a single responsibility. It's beyond unfair. It's a complete betrayal of trust and family. Next voice. Next voice. It's wild that this situation had to end up in court. Imagine being so irresponsible that your own mom has to legally force you to step up. The fact that she's still trying to justify herself shows she doesn't think she's done anything wrong. At some point, even family has limits. You can't just expect your mother to sacrifice her own well-being forever. Those kids deserve stability, but it's clear they're only getting it because of grandma, not their mom. If she doesn't change her mindset, these kids will grow up thinking this kind of behavior is normal. Honestly, the court shouldn't even have to be involved. This is common sense. She doesn't attend their functions because she said, I got to go out with my girls and kick it, or I got to be with a man and kick it. And so, I was like, you're not even trying to be a part of these kids' lives. You just want to be fancy and let somebody else take care of your kids. Okay, you know that? Okay, so it's just too much. Can I move over to her? Or is there anything else? Yes, ma'am, go ahead. Okay, now you have the opportunity to let me know what you want me to know. Respectfully. So, what's all that about the huffing and puffing? Because she's lying. She's telling half-truths and sitting over there in her Christian outfit. Like everything she's saying is the gospel. Yes, I did. Me and my children did move in with her 3 years ago. But what she didn't say was it's because I had a tragic divorce with my ex-husband, who her and her church members just wanted me to marry because he was so churchly and good, and he ended up being the devil. And in our divorce, he wiped us clean. Okay, and my credit was messed up. He took all the money and he left and did all of that. And so it left us devastated. So my mother said that it was cool for us to come and stay with her while I get things together and get back on our feet. I understand all of that, but let me ask you a question to fill in the gaps. Right, so is it true what she said that you were supposed to give her $400? No, that was never an agreement. Okay, hold on. So was there any agreement for you to give her any money to financially support your children? She said no. That was a yes or no. Not in that way, not in that way. Okay, so explain the way. So when we talked initially before even moving in, it was, y'all just come, just take your time, get yourselves together. I got you guys. I got my grandbabies. She was very instrumental in wanting grandbabies. I want grandbabies. I want grandbabies. I want grandbabies. I want grandbabies. That means she has to take care of them too. It doesn't mean she has to take. I'm saying she's not telling the full story of how it is. It was never an agreement on a dollar amount of being able to help. It's just do what you can when you can. So was there ever an agreement for it to be a temporary situation? Well, yes. You'd agree with me that 3 years is no longer temporary, right? I would say it's no longer temporary, but in the moments where I would say, I'm going to do what I can and see what I can do to get it. It was her that was talking about, oh, that's not a good place for my grandbabies, or you don't need to take them over there. And, I worry about y'all's safety over there, and that's too far, and that'll be taking them out of their environment. Okay, stop beating on the table. All of that is not necessary. I can assure you it's not. Just calm down. I understand. All right, I can't believe I'm even here. This is ridiculous. Well, this is where you come when you want some relief, when you're wanting certain things to happen. You come to court to take care of it. It's unfortunate that the two of you couldn't work it out because you're mother and daughter, but this is where you come. Her mom is doing everything. Feeding the kids, taking them to school, paying for their health insurance, and even covering the costs for sports. And yet the daughter has the nerve to act like cooking and cleaning counts as some kind of contribution. That's not helping. That's the bare minimum you do when you live in someone else's house. Her mom is on a fixed income, yet she's the one holding the entire family together while the daughter just sits there making excuses. It's disappointing that her daughter isn't doing her part.